alligator's got an alligator has a woman. It's a huge gator.
In today's episode, an alligator that is almost twice as big as the elderly woman attacks her and her dog while she walks her next to a lake in Florida. The woman puts herself between her dog and the alligator. The next thing that happened was one of the worst alligator attacks in Florida's history. Click like and subscribe right now. These are Gloria Serge's terrifying last minutes before she was eaten alive by a huge alligator. Welcome to Disaster TV. Alligators are what Florida is known for all over the world. It is thought that they live in most of the state's freshwater areas. In fact, it is thought that about 1.25 million of these animals live in Florida. Because there are so many of them, people and alligators often come into contact with each other. There have been more than 450 attacks since 1948, and that number is likely to go up because people often bring small pets to the alligator's home. People have told amazing stories about animals saving people, like how whales protect swimmers from sharks and how dogs protect their owners from dangerous animals. People don't understand that people will often do the same thing for their pets, even if it puts them in danger. There are stories all over the world of people going above and beyond for their furry friends. Many pet owners would do anything for their animals. English Lakes, a retirement community in Florida, made the news in 2023 for all the wrong reasons. These retirement homes were proud of the fact that they kept their residents happy and busy by giving them lots of choices for things to do, like golf and swimming. They also have 24 lakes on their land that people can use for sailing or just walking around during their daily lives. People who lived in the areas around these lakes thought they were there to improve their mental and physical health. However, they had no idea that something was living there, ready to eat some retirees. Gloria's Rise had been living at Spanish Lakes for a while by February 2023. She knew the area well and had a few friends in the Florida small town where they would all watch out for each other. Even though she knew a lot of people, her favorite friend was definitely her little dog Trooper. He had been living with her since she moved into the complex. She liked being able to take him for walks in such a beautiful area, which she didn't get to do much when she lived alone after her husband died. She thought it would be better for her to move in with other people than to live alone, which is what happens when you're a widow. That day, she was excited to take her well-behaved dog for a walk. She was thankful to have such a good dog to keep her company. People say that getting some fresh air is good for you, but Gloria didn't know what was in store for her when she went for her daily dog walk that afternoon. Gloria left her apartment like she always did, and Trooper ran ahead of her on a leash. She was going to walk around the lakes close to her house. If she got tired, it would be easy for her to go back home. She set out determined to make it around the first lake. Along the way, she enjoyed her surroundings and felt especially lucky to live in such a beautiful nature area. As she got closer to the water, she waved to some of her neighbors and looked over to the other side to get ready for the long walk that lay ahead. With each passing year, she was getting older and finding it harder to swim around the lake all the way around. Trooper's excitement and love of being outside pushed her to do better every day. She didn't know she was being watched from afar as she slowly made her way around the lake. 10-foot alligators were walking across the water 100 feet away from her. They saw the two close to the edge and chose one of them to eat. It climbed into the dark water and started to follow Gloria and Trooper. They didn't notice that something was watching them because they were still walking. It sneaked up on them but stayed just out of sight, watching the older woman and her dog as they continued to enjoy their afternoon and waiting for the right time to attack. Then it jumped out of the water and tried to grab Trooper and pull him into the water. Gloria would not let it happen, though. She had to decide whether her dog or herself would make it through this attack. She knew what she had to do when she saw the big animal come at her from the water. The attack scared her little dog right away, but Gloria quickly swung him out of the alligator's reach and threw him away. However, they were not yet safe. When it saw that its first prey had been taken away, it turned its attention to Gloria. After swinging Trooper away, she hit the ground and fell. She screamed for help as the alligator grabbed her by the leg and dragged her quickly into the water. She waved her arms desperately to get the attention of anyone nearby. Be sure to stick around for some chilling testimonials. The big alligator had a strong hold on her leg and didn't show any signs of letting go. She knew she didn't have much time left before it was too late while she was still living. As Trooper watched his owner fall into the water, he barked very loudly at the grass, but the small dog couldn't do anything to help. In the end, Gloria gave up her own life to save her dogs. Carol Thomas, 76, one of Gloria's neighbors, heard the noise and saw an alligator almost twice Gloria's size pull her into the water. The retiree called the police right away because he was scared. She ran outside with the phone in her hand and grabbed a yard pole to try to help. When she got there, the woman in the water was still there, floating on the surface while the alligator pulled and tugged on her. It felt like her heart had stopped. She moved the pole toward Gloria, hoping against hope that Gloria would be able to grab it and be pulled to safety. But it was too late, which was sad. Gloria was already dead, so the alligator quickly grabbed her body. Carol had to watch as the body was pulled under the murky water. When the police showed up, there was a crowd around the lake. This was because people from the complex had come to find out about the terrible event that had happened right outside their door. They were scared. Every day, they walked the same road and thought about how any of them could have been it. They were shocked that no one had ever seen such a big animal in the same area as them. They had no idea there was an alligator in their lake. Soon after she died, Gloria's body was found in the water. She had been badly hurt all over because the alligator tried to eat her before she was pulled out of the water. Getting the alligator was the only thing left to do. They were told to find the animal in the lake and bring it back so that they could decide what to do with it. They looked for a long time and finally found it at the bottom of the lake, full to the brim. The experts were able to measure the huge animal and find that it was 10 feet long after it was caught. Once they knew how big the gator was, they took it away to be killed because an animal that big couldn't live in the lake, especially since it was attacking people in the retirement complex. To make sure that the people who lived in the complex were safe, the owners started killing them. If people knew that their family members might end up like Gloria, they would never leave their loved ones with them. As many lakes as they could were cleaned out and all the other animals that they found were moved. Gloria was the third person killed by an alligator in Florida in the last 6 months, which is bad news for her. This is why the government is telling people to stay away from bodies of water, especially when they are walking their pets. Gloria showed everyone what people would do to protect their pets. Trooper was lucky to make it through everything, and he was finally sent to live with Gloria's family. His life was saved from an alligator's jaws by a woman who would guard him until her very last breath, until her terrible death.
911, there's a woman in the lake. The alligator's got her. An alligator has a woman. It's a huge gator. It's huge. Can you pull her under? Yes. Oh, no. I was trying to stick a pole out for her.
Okay.
She's gone. Little dog. And the gator grabbed the dog
And took
she
her.
fell down.
Is she alive?
Yes, she's alive. She's holding her in. She's holding her in the lake. It's too late. It's too late.
Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.